I don't know if you ever took a class that says how to make it happen on the internet, but I definitely never took that class. It was me doing it from 10 a.m. or 10 p.m. to midnight for 3 years straight, trying to figure out how to make Honeywave Media really pop off. So,
I think my entire like creative, digitally creative background kind of stemmed from a bootleg version of Photoshop. I was like high school, maybe it was high school. I was in middle school, and I had found out how to get Photoshop in a not so okay way. But I did it, and I just taught myself. And that was before the days of like YouTube tutorials, where nowadays you can literally learn how to be a professional editor if you just sit down on YouTube and watch 20 hours.
Thank you.
Right? That's what I'm saying. Like, but you know, I would just learn and figure out what each of the tools did on the sidebar, and I would just keep playing with it. I would make it fun. I would make pictures of like my friends mashed up with like Dragon Ball Z characters, or like standing next to Taylor Swift. You know, I made it fun, and you know that's kind of how I taught myself that, and got into the position where I wanted to continue down like some type of creative path.
Yeah. That's it's truly the time in history when if you want to do something, the only reason you're not doing it is because you are not doing it, right? Unless I don't know, you want to start up like a car dealership and you need some real money to be able to start a car dealership, I guess.
Some cash in hand.
Yeah, exactly. But you know, most things I really have no sympathy for. The amount of messages I get on my Facebook page that are from people I've never met asking me to put them on. Like, oh, do a music video for me for cheap or free because I'm going to be the best rapper in the world someday. Okay. Yeah. Well, how come I have to why am I the one who's sacrificing to do this? Why? Right. So I'm going to give you all my time for free, and I'm the one who's sacrificing when it's your big dream? Well, that's not how this is going to work, buddy. Right. You know, and I think that the amount of people who just don't realize that I think it's truly a scary thought for people to realize that it is very possible to live in a world where there are no gatekeepers. I've really kind of tuned everything I've done to, not have to ask anybody for permission or ask anybody to help me do something or put me on. And I think that most people are really comfortable living in a world in which they can point the finger at gatekeepers and say, well, the reason I'm not is because of that. Right? Because of that person. That's the reason that I can't get put on. Because I asked him to put me on and he said no. And It's like, well, you live in a world where you can do it all yourself, buddy. Yeah. And I think that it's truly a scary world for people to live in when they realize that they don't need a gatekeeper. Because it's kind of the same position that you're in, where you could be going to somebody asking for fundraising dollars, right? Instead, you created this entire event that is, quote unquote, a product that people derive value from. They can spend their Saturday getting out of the house, spend it with family, spend it meeting new people and learning new things about coffee, experiencing coffee in a way that they haven't before. And in return, they're giving the event money, and in return, that money from the event helps facilitate this entire volunteer culture in Siouxland that wouldn't happen if you were just going to somebody with your hands out, right?
Right. And I appreciate you bringing that component up, because that was part of the end goal of this event too, is to be a non-typical fundraiser. So we don't promote it as a fundraiser, right? But in essence, all the money's going back to VolunteerSiouxland. So it is a fundraiser, but we wanted to add that value so people feel invested, that they want to be a part of this because the product or service, because the event. But at the end of the day, they also know that they're helping a great cause that's helping VolunteerSiouxland run. Because at the end of the day, us at VolunteerSiouxland, we're trying to minimize the dollars that we're pulling from the donors in our community, because those dollars also affect everybody that we're trying to help. So we're trying to help every single nonprofit in Siouxland. So they all already have their hands out, looking for help because there's a million great causes in Siouxland, but we're trying to be one less handout in that donor pool to kind of, keep things circulating, because at the end of the day, we're just trying to connect people and, again, like you said, impact that the volunteerism culture in Siouxland.